At 60 years old, Chief Kelechi Obiora was a man carved by Time Wolfie, respected, feared, and admired across Enugu. He had lived through wars, coups, heartbreaks, and success. He had buried a wife, raised children who now towered over him, and built an empire from the sweat of his youth. He believed he'd seen every twist life could offer until he met Emily Carter, a 30-year-old white photographer from Colorado. She arrived in Nigeria to document festivals carrying a camera, a fearless spirit, and a fire in her eyes that could ignite an entire village. They met during the New Yam Festival when she pointed her camera at him and said, "Your face tells 1,000 stories. Can I capture one?" That boldness stunned him, that innocence intrigued him, that spark bound him. Conversation stretched into hours, hours into days, days into a love neither expected. The connection was instant and genuine, defying the 30-year age gap, the cultural divide, and the unspoken rules of society. But the moment people found out, the world erupted. His children were the first to attack Papa. "She's young enough to be your daughter," his eldest son shouted, while the others accused him of disgrace, of midlife madness, of destroying the family image. His sisters screamed about tradition. His cousins whispered about shame. Village gossip spread like wildfire until even market women debated his sanity. And on the other side of the world, Emily faced her own storm. Her parents were horrified. Her mother cried over the phone. Her father threatened to cut her off financially, and her friends mocked her. Online commenters called her delusional. Some accused Kelechi of taking advantage of her. Some accused her of using him. Yet despite the storms, Emily held on. "I love him," she told everyone who questioned her sanity. "I'm not leaving him." But the pressure mounted. Village elders summoned Kelechi and lectured him about legacy, dignity, and cultural expectations. They insisted Emily would stain his name, ruin his reputation, and destroy his family harmony. Even his late wife's relatives called him selfish, accusing him of betraying her memory. Meanwhile, Emily lost clients, lost friendships, lost opportunities, all because she refused to abandon him. The weight grew unbearable, and one night, after another devastating confrontation with his children, Kelechi finally cracked. With a tired voice and trembling hands, he whispered to Emily, maybe we should stop." She froze, staring at him like he had shattered her soul. "Is that what you want?" she asked, voice breaking. When he couldn't answer, she took it as the truth. She packed her bags silently and left Nigeria that night, boarding the last flight to Colorado without speaking another word. Kelechi watched her plane disappear into the night sky and felt the kind of emptiness that could swallow a man whole. By morning, the pressure, heartbreak, and stress caught up with him. He'd collapsed crumpling beside his bed. Barely conscious, his children rushed him to the hospital where the doctor issued a stern warning. Emotional strain had nearly taken his life. His children, shaken, realized for the first time that their father was not an unbreakable pillar, but a lonely man who had sacrificed everything for them. They finally understood the price of their stubbornness back in Colorado. Emily received the news from a mutual friend. She dropped her camera, burst into tears, and booked the next available flight. She didn't sleep, didn't eat, didn't breathe until she arrived at the hospital in Enugu. When she entered the room and saw him lying weak and fragile, she rushed to his side. Holding his hand with trembling fingers, his eyes fluttered open, and he whispered. "You came back," she choked. "I never left you." They held each other, crying quietly, not caring who watched. Outside the door, his children saw the truth. This wasn't manipulation, obsession, or foolishness. It was love. Later that evening, his eldest son entered the room and said gently, "Papa, we were wrong. If she makes you happy, we will support you." Emily's parents, after hearing the whole story, also softened. Her mother apologized through tears. Her father expressed regret. The battles that once tore them apart began to fade. Months later, beneath the warm Enugu sun, they held a traditional wedding. Drums thundered, flutes sang. Emily wore a beautiful George wrapper. Glowing with pride, Kelechi looked younger in his regal Isiagu, smiling like a man who had rediscovered life. Families that once fought now danced together. Villagers who once gossiped now nodded in admiration. Even skeptics, watching the couple move together like perfectly matched halves, felt something shift inside them. At 60, Kelechi found a love he thought he'd missed forever at 30. Emily found the soulmate she never expected. And together, standing hand in hand under the palm trees, they proved to everyone that love does not follow rules, timelines, or cultural boundaries. It simply finds its home, and against every odd. Every voice, every attack, they built a life together, fearlessly and passionately, choosing each other again and again for the rest of their days.